Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unlock a powerful teaching strategy, one that can seriously transform how your students learn. We've all seen it. You're in the middle of explaining something new, something complex, and you see that look wash over your students' faces. They're just overwhelmed. They've hit a wall. It's a super common frustration, and it's got a name: cognitive overload. Basically, their brains are trying to juggle way too much new info at once, and poof, they just shut down. But what if I told you there was a research-backed tool designed to smash right through that wall? Well, today, we're breaking down a strategy that does exactly that. It's all about scaffolding learning and building up that student confidence. It's called a worked example. And honestly, the concept is just beautifully simple. It's a clear, step-by-step demonstration of everything you need to do to solve a problem or complete a task. Think of it like this: you're giving students a map instead of just telling them the destination. And this is why it's so incredibly powerful. By showing them the entire path from start to finish, we take the pressure off. We reduce that cognitive load we were just talking about. This frees up all that mental energy so they can stop stressing about getting the right answer and actually start focusing on understanding the process itself. And look, this isn't just some nice idea that sounds good in theory. It's actually one of the most rigorously tested instructional strategies out there. The research behind it is pretty compelling, so let's actually dig into the numbers.
Okay, so the renowned education researcher John Hattie, in his huge meta-analysis, found that worked examples have a massive impact on student learning. He calculated an effect size of 0.57. Now, to put that into perspective for you, anything over 0.40 is considered to have a really significant positive impact on student achievement. So, yeah, 0.57 is a very big deal.
But here's the catch. Getting that kind of impact really depends on how you do it. As you can see here, it's all about providing that clear step-by-step path. It's not about just showing a super complex final product that kind of leaves students scratching their heads. The whole goal is to build a smooth on-ramp to doing it on their own.
All right, theory is great and all, but what does this actually look like in a real classroom? Let's explore a couple of real-world examples to see it in action. First up, let's pop into a Year 6 math class. The topic of the day: calculating percentage discounts. A classic real-world problem. Just look at how this teacher scaffolded the learning. It's fantastic. She starts with something familiar and pretty easy to calculate: a 10% discount. After she shows them how it's done and lets them practice in groups, then she introduces new worked examples for trickier percentages. See? Each step builds right on the last one, systematically upping the challenge. Okay, now for something completely different. Let's jump over to a secondary class where students learning English as an additional language, or EAL, are tackling the big challenge of essay writing. This is just such a brilliant application of the strategy. The teacher didn't just show them a final, perfect essay. Nope. She modeled the entire journey, the planning, the writing, all of it, and turned it into a detailed, annotated guide. But here's the really clever part. As the students got more confident, she started to fade that support, making the annotations a little less detailed, really encouraging them to take ownership. And the results? Well, they speak for themselves. The students felt empowered. The worked examples gave them the confidence to tackle a task they had found really intimidating, which meant they could shift their focus from "how do I even do this?" to "okay, how can I improve my spelling and grammar?" It's a total game changer. So we've seen that it works. We've seen it in action. The big question is how you go from just trying this strategy out once to making it a core part of your teaching toolkit.
This is maybe the most crucial thing to remember. Worked examples are a temporary bridge. They are not a permanent crutch. Their real power lies in knowing when to take them away. As the student's expertise grows, your reliance on these super detailed examples has to decrease. The goal is always independence.
This slide just perfectly illustrates that journey to mastery. It starts at the emerging stage, where maybe a single teacher is learning the strategy. Then it moves to evolving, where you're using it pretty regularly. The embedding stage is where the magic really starts to happen. That's when you're collaborating with your colleagues, sharing resources, and finally, excelling. That's when it becomes a systematic, school-wide practice. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's try to distill all of this down into a few essential takeaways that you can put into practice right away. So, bottom line. Remember, this is a powerful research-backed tool. It's all about reducing that mental strain on your students, shifting their focus to the how, not just the what. It's about building that bridge to independence and, this is key, knowing when to pull that support back.
It's just a direct way to show students what success looks like and give them a clear map to get there themselves.
So let's end with a really practical question. Think about your own students, your own curriculum. Where is that one sticking point, that one moment of struggle, where a single, well-crafted worked example could completely transform your very next lesson?